All right. The name is Delman doing a new review for Grafh and 38 Spesh, God's Timing. This review is done on behalf of the Old Heads Network. Okay, I gotta give special thanks to my guy, DJ Chop the Butcher. He gave me this album. I totally forgot about this album. It was not on my radar to even listen to. And that's no disrespect to Grafh or 38 Spesh. I just totally forgot about it. I heard the single they dropped, which they got a video for, called Rockefeller Chain, maybe over a month ago. I dig the song, but just didn't think to check out the album when it dropped. And I'm glad he gave it to me because it was a pleasant surprise, better than I thought it was going to be. I first became aware of Grafh like in 2005 from the mixtape I bought called The Preview. And his rhymes and flows were impressive. The mixtape itself was cool. It was all right, the songs itself, but I was impressed with how he rapped. I was like, whenever he drops an album, I plan to get it. He had a joint where he redid the MOP, put it in the air. He killed that joint. He had another joint on there that stood out with Stat Quo. I wonder what happened to Stat Quo. But anyway, he got a joint on there with Stat Quo that I used to love. I used to run that shit a lot. And, I didn't hear from him. He was out of sight, out of mind for me personally until, the recent years. But in between that time, he was dropping a lot of mixtapes. No albums really to talk of, but a lot of mixtapes. And I had totally forgot about the dude, like I said, until recent time. He started popping up on different podcasts. And he was featured on Royce the 5'9" Allegory album. And I was like, oh, okay, that's what happened to him. There he is. So this album has a lot of features. And 38 Spesh does all the production. And he does a great job. The production is nice from beginning to end. It's only 2 songs that I didn't care for, and it wasn't because of the production. It's mostly due to the hooks. I thought the hooks was a little wonky, a little corny, but it just didn't, the hooks didn't work for me on those 2 particular songs, should I say. But 38 Spesh only raps on 2 songs, and most people probably know him as a rapper because he puts out his own albums himself. But he's a good ass producer too. And the standout songs on this joint, like I said, has a lot of features. You got a joint called Fight for Love featuring Method Man. And Method Man right now has to be the king of features. It used to be Lil Wayne. Method Man that took that shit. He's killing every feature he is on, and he's been doing a lot of features. It's like every other album I get or hear, he's featured on there. And he always kills it. So Method Man pen is on point recently with all these damn features. Then you got Rock, Paper, Scissors, which is a joint that Grafh is on there by itself. You got Rockefeller Chain, like I mentioned a little earlier, featuring Freeway, Memphis Bleak, and Petey Crack. You got Straight Shooter featuring Pat Poose, which is nice. You got Take Risks featuring Dre Island and Vito. You got another joint called Remember Who You Are featuring Jim Jones. Another track called Coolin' featuring Melissa B. Another track called Bulletproof featuring Don Paul and Dope Gang Porter, which is nice. Never heard of those 2, but they did their thing on that joint. You got another song called Give Praise, which Grafh is on there by itself. One of the few songs that he's rapping by himself. Like I said, it has a lot of features, but he has a few joints on there by himself that definitely hold up. And I gotta give much respect to 38 Spesh because he is putting in work. He is consistently putting out new material. He's either doing a joint with somebody like Conway the Machine or Shay Noir, or he's putting out a joint by himself. I think he just put out an album, a solo album called Mother or Gun, which I gotta listen to. So, and Method Man's featured on that album. So there you go. And it was some songs that had like a reggae injection to it. They had a reggae vibe, reggae flavor to them. not necessarily the beat, but the folks he had on there, and that shit works. Them joints go. It's like a few songs like that on there. You know, Grafh is doing a lot of braggadocious drug talk, you know, street shit. So if you don't mind that or you into that, you would like it because he does it at a high level. I like his voice. I like his cadence. He got bars. Within that, you know, within that lane, he got bars. So that's what mostly the content is, basically. And it's a good album. I highly recommend it. I would give this a strong B, maybe a B plus with a few more listens, but it's one of them joints you can actually put in and let it ride. I mean, like I said, it was only 2 songs I didn't care for, and that was due to the hooks. You might feel different. You might love everything on this joint. But yeah, this is not getting enough. I don't hear nobody else talking about it or reviewing it. I don't hear nobody talking about it on no podcast. So this should be getting a little bit more love than it's getting. And, you know, subscribe, like, all that good shit, and I'm out.
Look, mission impossible to drop a few lines without dropping old times when Southern Hill was still a gold mine. When pistol grips was my shit and I sold mine. When Alias was not a show and they told mine. Elevate your mind with high quality THC infused products. BlackYeti.com. Black-Yeti.com.
CLB.